Even though I know for the most part, because the hands are registered, they don't really get in outside fights.
I don't think that's true though.
What?
I don't think that's true. That's a big urban legend. That's a big myth.
Wait,
Like,
wait, hold on.
So people think that you're a fighter, your hands are licensed weapons. No. If you swing at me, I'm swinging back. I'm not gonna be like, I can get sued.
Oh, man.
If you swing at me, I'm gonna laugh.
Welcome to No Chill with Gilbert Arenas. I'm Mike Botticello. Right over there, Gilbert Arenas. Your camera's right there.
Oh, I just be, like...
Oh, it's like the cameras aren't even there?
Yeah, you be changing the shit up. And I just
cameras.
Well, we all want to look good for the camera. Here's a guy that looks good for the camera. I don't look at that.
I know, teed up, man.
Right? Tyron
Have you
Woodley.
lined up? What's up, man? How you doing, brother?
How you doing, sir? Got that Kobe Kai.
Hey, my dog, I got a shout out to my dog, Lynn Oding.
Binge watch
Rex
that
in
if you
there.
haven't seen it.
I do.
So this is new for us. We brought a fighter in. And we can't mix words. We talk a lot, put some things out there. No, not today. And I was even thinking when we came in here, I think the coolest thing about being a fighter is when you walk in. You walk in.
Oh, yeah.
This is all eyes
That's
on
the
you. You come
scariest
on the
part,
court,
too,
you got
though.
your teammates
Yeah,
there.
true.
I gotta walk in too, though.
Not like that. There's no
You
other
gotta
sport.
try to separate your walk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like let them bums go first, and then you be at the back.
You gotta have a
Like,
little crazy handshake. Like you got 3 or 4 different ones.
But you don't see if, you got the handshakes and guys come in, John Wall did the Dougie. You're a fighter, man. You're setting the tone right from the gate.
I mean, for me, it's like, you can't get out of it now. You gotta do it. Like, you about to walk in there.
Yeah.
If you want to get out of it, like, you can't make no excuse. You can't oh, no, I can't do this no more. So it's like, when you think about, like, the walkout, it's not just like the music banging. It's not just the fans going crazy. Now it's no fans. It's kind of weird. It's like really you processing them. Did I do enough? I trained hard. I'm ready to go. Look at him. He already in there. He want to fight. Or he looks scared. Oh, I'm finna get this over with. There's so much going through your mind. And what we listening to in our headphones, a lot of times is different than what we playing on the outside. Some people overly acting like they just having fun and dance. They scared as a mom. I promise you.
oh, yeah, I'm sure.
There's a lot. It's a mental warfare game. So it's a lot of people that want to seem like they really are just, this ain't nothing, just another. Meanwhile, inside, their body, 89 beats a second.
Well, that's it. When you step into the octagon, it gets real. Like the weigh-in, I
It's
always
real
think
for
that's
me
a
before
funny
then,
thing.
though. It's real for me at the weigh-in.
At the weigh-in, I always looked at that's the entertainment part.
That's the hype.
Not for me. For some fighters, it is, but like I'm want to know what kind of fight I'm in for tomorrow. I've never been wrong. Every time I look at somebody in their eyes, I can tell exactly what kind of fight I'm in for the next day.
In the weigh-in?
Yeah.
That's cool if you think about it. Like set the tone.
No, every
then.
time I see the weigh-in, I'm like, okay, that's stage. You just got.
How do you usually tell when somebody lying? Their eyes.
Yeah.
Right? So when you in somebody's face and you all close, if they nervous or are they trying to be too over the top or they just kind of like serial killer stoic,
Yeah.
crazy. We finna go at it tomorrow.
What if they try to clown you?
Well, it's automatically done.
Because that strategy is different too. Because
One, you're not
come in
about
all
to clown me.
intense and
Two,
then
when you try, it's a whole different fight I'm fighting now.
So the weigh-in, like it's like that is part of.
For me, it is. Every fighter is not. Some guys come out with pizzas and little designs and painted. Whatever they want to do is kind of like your motto, like who you are. For me, it's like, one, I'm always shorter than everybody I fight, always. So I want you to see that you may be taller than me, you may be bigger than me, but I'm going to try to come and beat you up. And I want them to know that. So when I come in the face, I'm like literally walking towards them and I'm trying to get in their face and I'm trying to let them know we fighting tomorrow.
We fighting tomorrow.
Tomorrow we not, there's no shucking it. Tomorrow we fighting. Sometimes it's like, I'm like, kind of feel like that too. And then fight me look like that. So.
And the crazy thing about MMA to me is there's no other sport that you learn a sport and then you gotta learn other stuff. So you came up as a wrestler.
Yeah.
So you go to college, Missouri, and that's what you did. And then to get into this
I came up at, I wrestled at the University of Missouri. I was an All-American there. And I just always knew I was the best in the country. I knew I was the best, especially my last year. Nobody was better than me. And I never won NCAAs. And it was so, it was like this one tournament, because we won't get all year. I turned up all year. But if, like certain sports like football, McDonald's All-American, right? Because it's for me, you did all year long.
Yeah.
Us is one tournament. So if you place in the top 8 in that tournament, you're All-American. If you win it, you're the NCAA champion. You could have been 500 the whole season, and all of a sudden you turned up at the very end, now you're a national champion. I've seen it happen before. Something about that tournament, I just never did well. I placed a couple times. I went there 3 or 4 times, but I never like really had my best matches, and I was just mad, and I was like, I want to punch somebody.
Is it more, or do you think it was more mental?
It's always been mental with me.
Yeah.
With me, it's never been, like, I've always felt like I had a little extra little raw in me, but I never had to have been pushed to work hard. I always work hard. I always had a good work ethic. I always wanted it. I never need, my coaches, they never like motivate me, like, oh, do this or this. Don't coach me that way, because I've been gangbanging and shot at and ran, like 15 people chase you to run. I'm not scared of a wrestling match or a fight. So you don't have to try to put fear in my heart to motivate me. Just tell me, lift your hand up. You don't have to tell me what he'll do if I don't. Just say, lift your hand up. And sometimes athletes aren't open enough to teach their coaches how to coach them. Like, I'm not saying make it easy on me. I'm saying you're doing this because you want me to do something, right? This is how you make me do that. So.
That's a good one. I never thought about that one. Teach your coach how to coach you.
Yeah.
Because, especially, in basketball, that coach has one style. In that one style, you have 15 players. So in reality, you're gonna lose half your team because of the style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One guy might thrive, one guy might not. Then this is like, so you're trying to sit here, how do I motivate 15 people?
And you shouldn't have one style, because it's 15 professionals.
A good coach.
But
15 professionals that you got enough personnel and style, you got enough time, you got enough resources to get to know that person individually. And it's not easier, because it actually should be harder. Because once you open yourself up to somebody and they know you, they also know where you loaf at. But we taught not to ask questions, and we're the professional athletes, and it's our technical business. We're our own companies.
Yeah, it's your life.
But we frowned upon for asking questions
right.
and telling you, my business runs the best this way. Business is about efficiency and operating as fast as possible, the most precise input out as possible. If you have me doing powerlifting and I'm a finesse basketball player, you don't see Steph Curry or doing 300-pound hang cleans, deadlifts, and one-arm snatches with a dumbbell and 45s on that. Why? His 3 ain't gonna be the same.
Yep, they tried it too.
Yeah. One a little rougher in the paint, probably, right?
Huh?
They wanted him to score a little bit more.
No, they tried it with KD.
They
tried it with KD, said, you need to get a little bit bigger. Like even with Ingram, you need to get a little bit bigger. No, he
I'm
don't.
the opposite. They tried it with me the other way.
Yeah, no,
My
you
muscle
don't.
had too much mass, and cardiovascular sports, you need to be leaner and you're carrying too much muscle. And I listened to it, and I lost what made me me, what made me explosive, what made people want to watch me fight, and I had to do my own research. How many rounds did Mike Tyson used to go, Evander Holyfield, all these people that were built that way? 12, 15 rounds. Punching almost as hard in the 10th through 12 as they were in the first, right? So why I'm gonna let somebody, C.T. Fletcher is a strength and conditioning guy, like from Compton, right? He got a very unique way of pumping people up. Y'all can look it up for yourself. But he said, you were born with those muscles, so you know how to move with them muscles. Don't let a mother bleep tell you how to move with the muscles they ain't never were born with. I ran from people with these muscles. You gonna tell me I don't know how to train
use
my
your body?
body? Yeah, so that's the boy, that's you. When you do that, bring me on.
All right, I got
You're
you.
gonna teach the coaches how to coach us, because even if you were a player, you're now a coach. And your job is to not hoard that power over and be a dictator and be now govern somebody's body. Your job is to get this promotion, organization, team, whatever, to the top. And each person, the equalizer's gotta be on 10. I can't get his equalizer to 10 doing this.
Yep.
Try to train him different. You know what I mean?
And think about that, Gil. If you have a fighter talk to team sport players and see what they are self-motivated.
time.
It's all you.
Yeah.
I talk to them team sports all the time. College football teams. I don't know what they want me to say, but I get there.
I was gonna say, what do they want? What do they want
it.
to hear?
I mean, I just tell them about real life. I've been up, I've been down, I've been at the top. I was 2 fights away from being the greatest that ever did it. Now, I'm like, damn, I ain't won a fight since 2018. But that life ain't about that. Life is about learning. And sometimes you gotta learn through getting stuff taken from you.
Yeah.
So I just talked to them about life. They say they want to be a big, I went to K-State and team said they wanted to be a Big Ten champion, Big Ten champion, right? And I said, shit, what your actions look like? Are you lining up with what you say you want to be? Because I was a Big 12 champion. I was the first one our school ever had. Nobody ever thought Missouri would have a Big 12 champion. We was the buy. Everybody got us, they was happy. Oh, we got Missouri. They got free 6 points, right? So I went out there and won it when it wasn't cool, when nobody thought it was possible, but I was disrespected a little bit too, that people thought about us that way.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nah, let me show you right quick. But I think when you can, 2 or 3, 10 people may relate to that because they may have came from the same area. I came from Ferguson. It's all respect. St. Louis is all respect. If you respect a person, you'll go a long way in St. Louis.
You know, and the thing that people need to recognize is in the fight game, there's a science to it.
Yeah.
And there's an art to it. It's not just violence. It's not just rough all the time. Those are things that you add on, and based on where you came from with the wrestling and you got to with the mixed martial arts, you determine your own style.
Yeah.
How do you define your style?
I'm an artist. I ain't a fighter. I fight 2-3 times a year, maybe. And I'm a dad way more than that. I clean. I'm an actual maid more than that. If you think about it, think about what you do on a day-to-day basis. You are that. I fight 2 or 3 times a year. So for me, I feel like art form is any way you can express yourself. So if I can express, my like hard work and dedication, because that's all fighting is. I'm expressing through art my ability to put myself through fucking hell for one moment of heaven. Because, dude, he down. Oh, I won. They can't cheat me. They can't say I lost. I can't get clipped with a shot. I can't get caught in the armbar. That one look, that's all we do all the training for. All the cauliflower ear, all the dumb
Pain.
stuff, all
Pain.
the pain. Yeah, so at the end of the day, I would say for me, I'm an artist, and I used to let people tell me to separate it. I'm not separating music from executive producing, from doing television, behind the scenes, camera, TV show, movie, big movie, low budget movie. I'm not stopping all the different forms of art because you can't understand that this brush goes on many different canvases. So that's me. That's what I would say.
Like when it comes to just the style and training, right? You come from wrestling, and you're adapting into this new world. Is it just like starting all over?
I came from the street first, and then the wrestling, and then to be successful in life and what I thought I needed to do, I put that part of my life to rest, and I got rid of it, and I got closer to God, and I buried it. That's why when I say I don't like fighting, people don't get it. I've been in 30 fights outside the octagon. I fought my whole life. That's how I built my name. People know me from fighting. So I got away from that, wanted to go to college. Wrestling was a way I could have the ability to be physical with somebody but not get in trouble for it, and not have to worry about my safety, my family safety. So in sport, my sport is called mixed martial what? It's art. It's art. My sport is called that. And it's the one sport that if I go and do a song with Wiz Khalifa, here goes another athlete trying to do music. Now here goes another artist utilizing this to express himself. Whether it's TV, whether it's music, whether it's fighting. So for me, I had to unlock that part and let it out a little bit, but control it. So my last fight, I didn't win the fight, but motherfuckers know that I'm still that guy, and they know I still got it in me, and they thought it was lost. And sometimes it's a divine balance that we never find, but you know what I'm talking about. How much do I dedicate to my craft? How much do I dedicate to my leisure time? How much do I dedicate to this girl? How much do I dedicate to my investments? I don't have my hands in on my accounting stuff. I don't want that. Now I got to go back and shoot. So it's a divine balance.
You know what it is, that idea of art, right? That masterpiece. Because you can have a fight, you can have a game where, yeah, a 60-point game, somebody might say that's your masterpiece, a game winner, buzzer beater, but it really could be those games that, man, we were down the whole time, we had to grind this thing out. My stat line might have been pretty, but shit, that game was awesome. That's what it was all for. That feeling when I look up and I got the win, and I'm like, you know what? Shit, that was my masterpiece.
That's what we're chasing. That's a masterpiece, but we're really chasing mastery.
But do you ever get it? Or is it just...
You may not get it sometimes because it's all about choices, right? Think about in your career in basketball, it's some things you made a choice to do. Had you not, you could have got a little bit more juice out of this category if you put it into this basketball, right? Maybe it was buying stuff, maybe you got money, now you jewelry, maybe it's women, maybe it's whatever. It's another category that we get the exposure to now once you get there. Once you get on, you got exposure to this. And you can give it as much attention as you want or at least as much. Denzel don't give it none. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people give it all,
Yeah.
right? So now you look back, you may have mastered it as an athlete had you put the amount of energy that Jordan did into that category, or Kel Sanderson in wrestling put into that category, or Demetrius Johnson. He didn't care about no belts. I made him buy his first designer belt. He wouldn't buy it. He was a world champion. I said, you about to break the record for the most title defenses, my dog. Buy yourself a watch, man. You gonna hear that G-Shock watch, it's cool, but you make some money. And then I made him put himself on a different plan where people came to the plate differently. And what happened is endorsements went up. Now he's actually making 7 figures a fight when he was making less than the female champions.
Ooh, wow.
And it was the pound for pound #1 guy, but it's all about perception. But the energy, he didn't put a lot of energy in there, he just put enough. But that came and benefited his professional category because it put him on a different market plane. For me, I spent a lot of time over here because I didn't like this over here because I felt like I had to prove everybody wrong on this part. My whole time I was dedicating energy to proving it wrong instead of just being the best. If I train every day, I'm getting better every day, right?
Yeah.
It's facts, right? Would you say that's 100% correct? If you do something every day, whether it's filmed,
Yes.
if you do,
You're getting better.
You're getting better every day, right? Now, how many things are you 100% right? Very few. Birth control ain't even 100%. Now let me take this fact. I told myself I want to be the best fighter ever, better than George St. Pierre, Matt Hughes, anybody. When people think of the welterweights, I want to be the number one that you ever think of. And I really wanted that. And that was my mind. That's what I verbally said. And we just said, 100% of the time, if I do something every day, I will get better. So when I was taking breaks, I need some time away from the sport, or I need to get away from it to like it, or I got injured in a fight, or whatever the situation that took me away, well, those days I didn't do anything, there's not a 100% chance I was getting better. So under my own control, every single day, even if it was just reading something positive, motivational, something spiritual, something motivational, training, watching a video, shadowboxing, thinking about a match, you know what I mean? Every day I could have done that. Like my mom said, you can't undo done. I can't go back and get that time, but I can take that mind and principle now. If I want to be the best, I still can be the best ever. I still can do that. But now I'm of age where I can't miss another day. Because these people, while I was taking vacations, and while I was healing wounds, and while I was taking my precious day to get back to my bag, they started gaining ground on me. And before the training partner that I used to just completely annihilate in practice, now he has a victory over me. The person I mentored and basically taught everything about everything, he models me, is now the champion of my weight. And he was at my party asking me how I felt to get the belt put around me. I said, oh, you'll see one day. I never knew it was gonna be on my watch. I told Usman that. He was at my after party in Vegas. And I said, you'll see when you get it. Because I knew in the spirit, I knew he was gonna be the champion, but I thought it was gonna be after I walked away. But I saw it. But what did I do? I didn't get better every day. My dude told me, he said, when you're not working hard, somebody else is. And what happened? And when they meet you, they'll what?
Destroy you.
They'll beat you.
And that's the thing, Gil. When you get to that point, you become a champion. Then it's all about the build up to that, right? The work that you put in, the dedication, the grind. Then when you get there, you gotta stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like that's the hardest journey.
I did that.
That's the hardest journey when you're there, staying there. I remember when I made it to the NBA, and someone asked me, it's like, all right, what's your goal? I was like, my goal was to make it to the NBA. And he's like, okay, what's your goal now? You made it.
Yeah.
He's like, you made it. You made it to the NBA. Like, are you done? I mean, what's next?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, shit, when I was 10 years old, there was no what's next. It was...
The mountain seemed so tall to even get to the top.
Yeah, I'm like, the NBA. So I said, well, can I think about it? He's like, yeah. So then I came back the next day, and I was like, well, I mean, I want to be, MVP. I want to make the rookie all-star game. I want to be an all-star. I want to be all NBA. I want to be a champion. He's like, okay, now whatever you did to get here is meaningless. You got to start again in work.
I was that young fighter.
And
Nobody can outwork me. I wish you would even think about it. I healed the ACL in 4 months.
Is it?
Did you hear that? 4 months ACL.
Before the new technology. In 2001, I tore my ACL. I was throwing an inside trip in the US Open in Las Vegas. After my redshirt year, I went to go into this big tournament. I don't know why I was even there. All these Olympians, right? I tore my ACL in that tournament. Got the surgery, and every single day, 7 days a week, with no break, I never took 1 day off. In 4 months, I 100% cleared out the brace. Knock on wood, I've never, to this day, has had any problem with my knee, ever.
Jesus.
Every single, I never, when I say never, it was not 1 day I took a break. Sunday through Saturday, I moved to the city where my college is at. I didn't go home. I didn't have no summertime. I was in that damn brace, lawn cutting. I was cutting the fields at Mizzou, dotting the lines, and that's what I did. But I'm like, I know how to do it.
Is it just that when we get older, we try to enjoy what we did?
I never enjoyed it, man. I'm gonna be real, I never enjoyed it. I thought I was, and I always thought when I made it there, it would feel so good. It never really felt that good.
Never felt.
But that's the thing, it's basically the worst thing that can happen to a fighter, you get civilized.
Yeah.
Because you're always so hungry, you're always so desperate to survive.
I don't know if this is the civilized part, but I think it's the hunt. The hunt is so, because you never know where the bar is at. You assume. I assume they're doing this around the country. Let me outdo that.
Yeah.
Right? So the hunt's so crazy. So for you to be able to keep going when your body is clearly telling you, dog, you overdoing this, dog. What are you doing? For you to keep going, you gotta have something in sight, and it is what's in sight. The NBA is what's in sight. The championship, the UFC, the best welterweight of all time, that was in sight. So you have to see it on the treadmill. You got to see it in the sparring round when you're getting beat up by the pro boxer. And you're like, man, hold on, coach, I'm out of here. And they pour water on your head and said, no, you got to stay in there, dog. You got to take these lumps. You got to take this L today. You got to hold on to it, right? The championship keeps you in there. So when you get it, you've seen it millions of times already. I saw me winning the world title so many times before I was even a pro fighter. So when I got there, it happened, and I'm like, I already saw it, and then I thought it was gonna be hallelujah, Jesus crying, every backflip, every yell and scream, and I just was like,
But the cool thing is you can control your destiny wherever. In a team sport, it's tough because you could have, not the best roster. This team look at the Brooklyn Nets, made all these moves.
We got the politics, my dog.
Put together.
You still got to get the fights. You still got to get put in position. You still got to match up with an equal opposite that's going to build the pay-per-view. But now your name, it's not about, the best fighters aren't the biggest draws. I can tell you 10 fighters right now that you don't know that may be the best fighters in the UFC. Jared Cannonier, Sadiq Yusuf. These are guys that I don't even know if they have a weakness.
When you're at the top, right, and you're looking forward, this is what I notice. It's not the person that you think is in front of you that's your biggest challenge. It's the person that's behind you that you're not paying attention to. Because
they got me too.
Because the person
they got me. Y'all got me.
Because the person behind you is watching everything you're doing. So it's studying, it's learning, it's adapting before it gets to you. And when you see it for the first time, it's in real time. And he's done already studied all your moves. And I used to tell people in basketball, I said, yeah, there's a reason that there's a rookie of the year every year. There's a reason that there's standouts every year. And these Lucas are coming in and they're dominating quicker because they're watching and learning. And you're chasing this older rabbit.
Yeah.
Right? You're chasing an older rabbit. By the time you even get to that level, it's over.
I mean, the psychology behind it is real simple, but it's hard to do. The real simple thing is you're never chasing anybody. You're chasing perfection and mastery. And if you stay on that, there's nobody that can beat you anyway, because if they can beat you, you would have given every single drop you got, and they were just better than you. But you can never not achieve what you're supposed to do if you stay focused on that. Like, think about, like with me, I was a little bit different, and I was blessed that just God created my mind to think a little bit different. I never wanted to get to the UFC. Mm-hmm. I knew it was gonna be hard once I got there. I wanted to be the best. I wanted to be a champion, right? Before I even started professional MMA, I was an amateur. I said, before I start this, I want to be the UFC champion. Because I already did wrestling. Wrestling's so much harder than any other sport. MMA is a joke compared to wrestling. I'll never do that BS again. Just to straight wrestle.
Wait, what's the hard part, the difference?
When do you get a break? When is an off season ever? Mm-hmm. When is the elastic or the static strength or the grabbing the wrist and pushing, pulling, no space? You can't ever relax. It's 7 minutes, but you're grabbing, gripping, snapping, pushing, pulling, grabbing, last seconds, 2 seconds, this rule, that rule. You can't lock your hands on this position. You got so many things. We call it 3D wrestling. We call it chain wrestling. Because I may go for a shot, but I got 5 things in my mind. If he defends this way, I go that way. If he defends that way, I go that. If he defend that way, I'm gonna fake that way, but I go back to this way, because him defending hard is gonna really put him in position for this. Mm-hmm. And right when he get down, I'm right to breaking him down, turning him, putting him on his back, going for this. And if he gets up from that position, then I'm gonna do that. Then
so you're chessing it all the way through?
The whole way through, the whole match. And that's why MMA fighters that's why wrestlers make great MMA fighters. We take that mentality into the striking, into the boxing, into the grappling. And then we all know that the world that we lived in, which is the wrestling world, the cauliflower-eared, insane guys on campus that nobody really just gave them their own little category, their own little fraternity, right? Mm-hmm. Am I right? We know that if we can pull you into that world, many of y'all won't make it.
Yeah.
You get the boxing guy or the jiu-jitsu guy in there.
Bring him into that world, he may not make it. Look at our ears. Mine not there. This dude willing to let his ear look like a freaking discombobulated and just disfigured for a takedown? No, seriously. That's what it's from.
Hey, I remember I was talking shit to someone, right? And then
I already know
I was talking shit. Then I was like, no, well, we're gonna meet outside. And dude was like, yo, you see his ear? I was like, what do you mean his ear? It's like, no, he fights for a living. You good, my man? My bad.
I'll go buy some new Dolce &
Gabbana
sneaks.
But you also gotta want it. And I'm thinking about times when like KD went to Dykeman or Kobe played at the Drew. Like, I can play in the NBA. I want to get to where this other world is sort of underground, right? Mm-hmm. And because I just want to measure myself against all competition.
Yeah,
know that I've mastered.
In basketball, you have, the NBA is the professional, and then there's like there's this street legends also, and they didn't have the resources or the circumstances that got them the chance to make it to the NBA, but when it came to talent for talent, they're still saying, hey, you got to walk through me also.
Yeah.
Yeah, you NBA, you in all that NBA boo-boo.
Did you ever do Rucker?
Huh?
You
Oh,
ever
yeah,
do-
yeah, 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 yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Did you dunk on them?
How much you go for at the Rucker?
55, 60, 65.
From being intentional.
Huh?
You was intentional. You told yourself you got 2 years to make a meal.
Yeah.
And you knew that it wasn't like you had to find the money. You had to put your body in position to make it.
Yeah, it was, you know, you're right. I didn't have the fun. The fun was when I got on that court and I got to let people know what I was doing. That's even when I went to the Ruckers, I prepared for the Ruckers.
Yeah.
It was no NBA style.
You know about the fouls. You had to be a little tougher.
Yeah, it was
you know
just
what I mean?
looking at it like
Anybody go car traveling this
Yep.
much, you get there.
I got to think about the and one style of it. You know, try not to get baited. So, you know, because there is chess. Because now I'm in your world.
And it's still mental though. Because if they start getting off on you, making fun, now you gotta,
now I gotta shut. And I remember this is what happened. It started raining.
Oh, that's even better.
And then it was like, oh, we're gonna take this game because it was the EBC World Tour. So there's like, oh, we gotta take this game to the gym.
Gaucho.
Yep, gotta take it to Gaucho Gym. And I was like, what's Gaucho Gym? It was like, oh, it's Inside Arena. Inside? Like real inside gym? I was like, oh, they done. I'm back in my element now. Ain't this concrete. One rim is 11 feet, one rim is 9 feet.
Yeah.
I said, now my shooting ability is here. Before shooting at 11, then versus 9,
No wind.
you got me.
It's a difference.
Trouble time. And then that's where it happened, you know, but I knew not to play in their world. I knew not to go for the oohs and the ahs. That wasn't my style. I was a bucket getter. I'm just getting buckets. I'm not gonna sit here and try to, you know, I'm not gonna sit here, you know, you got 4 points and you done bounced it off my head 3 times, did all this, do it in the crowd. And I'm like, yo, this man got 4 points. You know what? I know how to beat that. Yeah. 80, that's what I'm gonna do. that's what I'm gonna do. You know, it's like, because if I went down now trying to do the moves that I've never practiced, he beats me in this world.
That's true. You ever just dunked on him and you just feel like, you just grown was over his shoulder. You just dunked all on him.
You know what's it was so funny about me? Like I was I'm looking at my stuff from high school. And
well, hold on. What did they call you in high school? Not your nickname.
White boy player?
Yeah, they called him a white boy player.
Because I'm from the Valley.
Well, okay.
So there was nobody from the Valley. You know, we're all white boys. You know, so there was no basketball players in the Valley. So I was called the white boy player. So you know, it was like, he does that because you know he's playing against a bunch of white boys. Yeah. So you know, when we went to LA schools, like dunking, like that's what we all wanted to do. But for some reason, just trying to score 50 every single time.
That's a lot of damn.
It
sound like okay, it's half of 100.
It just made me like dunking, like I got off by dunking, but no, I just wanted bucket, like just getting bucket after bucket after, because I know
that's your brand.
Like,
you got something revolved around that?
Buckets?
Yeah.
No.
See how he thinks?
Because in St. Louis, we talk about that. I'm getting buckets.
Like I said, I get buckets.
I'm getting paid. I'm getting money. I'm dropping buckets. Well, I'm pulling girls.
I'm gonna take note of that.
Yeah, that was my thing.
You
like,
should use that. That's
like you know, like some people, like as soon as they start dunking, I was like,
I got a lot of that written in music.
Yeah, for real?
Yeah, buckets.
Yeah, I just wanted like you to go home and you look at the stat sheet. You won by 30. Yeah, but your opponent got 55. You don't feel too good about that.
Yeah, it's like the body. It's like getting hit with a body shot.
Yeah, it's like
you get hit with a body shot. It's knocked out from that. It's like, damn, it's so embarrassing.
Because everybody be like, yeah, this team won 7 games. But yeah, I dropped 50 on all 7 opponents. They don't really.
Yeah. They forget about the highlights.
They don't really care about that win. They don't feel good going home.
It makes you feel like the cheat code.
Yeah. And that's
they couldn't stop you.
And that's how I felt in high school.
Just leave him alone. He's cheat code. We can't stop him. We're gonna
focus on everybody else.
Keep him to this 50-point mark. Not 51. Okay, they probably have talks about that. Not he can get 50, but if he get 51, everybody's doing suicides and nobody else score though.
But meanwhile, that creates that buzz about you every game that you play and every time you walk in the gym. That's the guy that can go for it.
Yeah, that's the guy who just boom, boom, boom. Yeah, you know, like I did Crenshaw. Nobody ever talks about, Crenshaw blew them out.
Yeah.
You know, Crenshaw beat him by 30. No, that's like, they couldn't stop one person.
Wow.
Like the team wasn't good. We just needed one person to stop. We sent 5 people at him every possession, and we couldn't stop him. And I told people,
I'm just imagining that's me right now.
And I told people this. I said, I learned how to be a killer because I was always throwing 5 people. Yeah. And for me to get this team to a win or a possible win, I have to defeat all 5.
We do this segment, Ask Agent Zero. So you kick that off. Yeah. So let's keep going on that.
When are we starting this draining bucket situation?
Whenever.
This is our whole way of life. Like, think about if you wake up every day and what you doing? I'm draining buckets today. Are you really doing the nonsense today? You're really not.
You draining buckets? I like that.
It's a whole mindset. Waking up on the mirror, draining buckets. A female can pick it up. Mm-hmm. They can drain buckets. Little kid can pick it up. Old woman can pick it up. Old ass man can pick it up.
Yeah, we got it.
We all draining buckets because if you a real team player, it don't matter who put the points up for real. Mm-hmm. If the points on the board and we score, we all win.
Yep.
Guess what? If you draining buckets, my dog, I'm passing you the rock.
Yep.
For sure.
Hey, what else you got?
I asked some of my questions. I had the Rucker Park questions.
Yeah.
Because that's like 2 different credibilities. You got the NBA credibility, but when you show up at Rucker, you got the hood behind you.
You have to.
You want the hood behind you.
You have to. It's one of. I had to do the same thing when I was in DC. We had Berry Farm, so it's the DMV's version of Rutgers, and that's where KD's coming from. Yeah. That's where Michael Beasley's coming from. That's where all those guys are coming from. And if you don't jump, I was the first actual NBA player that played in that farm.
Wow.
Everybody else was scared. So they was like, we don't want to go to the...
You can't get done dirty.
Yeah, we don't want to go to the farm. We'll play y'all on our territory. So when I heard about the farm, and I was, so some of those guys that come and play in the gym when we open the gym up, and I'm like, these nice.
Yeah.
Where y'all playing at? And then he'll be like, we got this league at the farms. All right, put me on the team then.
Yeah.
I show up, and I'm like, this the hood.
Yeah.
They ain't got doors on they got curtains as the doors. And then the announcer, Cobb Miles, he's on the mic talking, and everybody front row smoking blunts and stuff. And I'm like, I never played in this atmosphere before. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then someone
like that though.
Someone said something that just triggered. And it was like, he looks scary as hell, man. This ain't the what's the name center? This the farms. They're about to do you in over here.
You got a whole little mission, man.
And I'm like, who?
Because you've been proving this for a long time. You have to prove it.
I train so much too.
A lot of kids out here thinking they got to prove it too. They need you to talk to them.
They have to. The only way you get to that ship,
and it's
that
scary.
league.
It's scary. It's not scary?
Yeah.
It's scary because if you fail, told you he was scared. Mm-hmm. Or he played this X amount of way, but it's like, I was telling somebody yesterday that when I was in high school, we made it lit to have good grades. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what you get? Dog, you gonna be working for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, you dumb. Like we made it bad. Like, dude, you big dumb, dog. You couldn't even get that right? Man, that's easy. All you have to do is this. So we made it lit to be smart.
Yeah, and
nobody can ever make fun of us again, but we made that. We created the culture.
Now, like I was even telling my daughter, I said, you don't want to be the cool kid.
No.
I said, you know what the cool kids do? They come to your games. I said, Sierra Canyon, boys basketball. Wow. Where are the cool kids at? They're in the stands.
Wow, right.
They're in the stand. They're watching.
Wow.
You don't want to be a watcher. Your ass gonna be at McDonald's watching cars go by. You want to be a cool
That's true.
kid.
That's a bar.
I said, yo, you better work, get your fucking grind on, so the cool kids is coming to watch you play.
That's smart. This is where you put the energy in too,
Yeah.
right? Put the energy into that. Because you're gonna be cool anyway, because everybody know you.
Yeah, because everybody know you.
Think about this. People know you for being clutch. They know you for turning up when somebody needs you. They know you when it's the last quarter, the last seconds of the period, who we want the ball to be shot to. Boom. And they know you that. And so you walk, like I just imagine, like if I was a shooter and everybody knew me, I'm walking in the door like, hey, it's everything and nothing, I'm never bothered. I'm walking through the door like, cause I'm that guy.
Yeah, that's see how he's wired though? That's what it takes.
The boxing walk is way better than
Oh yeah.
like walking into cause you by your, like you don't, that intro.
All eyes on you.
That intro, everyone looking at you.
I don't mean the court. I mean like the,
You mean anywhere.
I mean the room, the table. Everybody that want to get in the room or the table or the club, I'm walking in like, nah, I'm him. Yep.
Yeah, but that fight and walk is a different, because that fight and walk comes with, I can whoop all y'all asses.
And somebody will look at, you can look at somebody and he'd be like, I'm willing to die in this.
Yeah, like you walk into any club.
I've been in a couple fights like that.
Yeah, but think about that, Gil,
You don't have to kill me. I'll die in this.
But that's what I'm saying. You walk in, but when a fighter walks into the club, he is the dude. Yeah. Like, you know, you start seeing him drinking, he start getting aggravated. You're like, oh man, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Like, you don't care about no
I try to
gangbangers.
just be peaceful.
You don't care about no bangers in the club.
So people think that about you, but that's not really how guys are wired. When they're out of that octagon or that ring.
No. I'm sorry.
Tap out affliction.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'll say this:
One of
that
them
you have
two
a
t-shirts is gonna give it away.
you have a flip switch that you can flip.
You don't want it to happen on you. And that's
Right.
like that's what I said. Like if I see a fighter come in the club, I'll be watching how they. He got his shirt off. I'm out. He got his shirt off. I'm out.
To be honest, I'm not even gonna be around. I'm out too.
Even though I know for the most part, because the hands are registered, they don't really get in outside fights.
I don't think that's true though.
What?
I don't think that's true. That's a big urban legend. That's a big myth.
Wait,
Like,
hold on.
So people think that you're a fighter, your hands are licensed weapons. No. If you swing at me, I'm swinging back. I'm not gonna be like, I can get sued.
Man.
If you swing at me, I'm gonna laugh and I'm going to do some very embarrassing stuff to you.
It worked for you.
No, it worked for me because I don't know how to fight, so I didn't even have to worry about none of that.
Tell me if anybody.
I thought the hands is registered the
Everybody
whole time.
thinks that, but I've never seen anybody get held in a court of law for a registered pair of hands. Dogs, that's like in the industry, like a lot of people just don't know how to defend themselves at all. There's really a market out there for that. I mean, we're dead ass. It's a severe market. It's a lot of can I be real? It's a lot of bodyguards that's just big and dark complexion. And they're not even really equipped with no knowledge to defend you.
You know what?
Not in shape.
I never wanted a bodyguard. Yeah. Never. I just felt that he enticed fights. Like he just made people wanna test him out, and I didn't want that. Like, because if they whoop his ass, then what happens?
You never
with me?
had security or
No.
private security detail?
No. I'm
Sometimes you got to though.
No, non-lethal. Non-lethal, bro.
Depends who's coming around.
Hey, this dude is super
Like
non-lethal.
if the guy is non-lethal, then I don't like. It's respect. If I have respect for what you do, like you drug dealing. Hey, here's a bottle. Get out your section. Here I am. I'm out. Like I ain't know. There's nothing.
They got your table.
Yeah, there ain't nothing to talk about here. I'm just
They ain't
moving.
gotta shoot you in the chest and wreck you.
Nah, jury, here you go. Nigga, I got insurance. What you
I'll
talking about?
I'll give up the insurance.
Hey, I ain't got no problems here. You got no problems for me, baby.
I'm not gonna resist like that.
I play hoop shoes size. You wear size 8, but it's fine, man.
Yeah, I'll give it up.
I don't.
You live to fight another day.
But that's what I said. I never like, even in DC, people were like, yo, how was DC? I said, man, that was the best not like, I can't say one person ever like looked at me like they wanted to fight me. I'm in the club and no, not one person ever was like, yo, we're gonna have to get him. Cause I didn't come off like that. I didn't come off like, yo, I'm better than you and nothing like. I'll come in the club, big ass party. I'll sit at the bar. I'll get my table up. Like, damn, like I'm one person. Y'all look like y'all got like 7 people. You know what I mean?
It's hard though.
Go ahead, do your thing. You know what I mean? I didn't have the, I'm from the valley. I'm from the valley. I ain't got the ego. You know what I mean? It's like, the last thing I want to do is you trying to kick it and, my name is big and I'm sitting here like, move out of the way, man. Nah, that's how you get your head wrong. And
That's smart.
I didn't practice to be, I didn't practice to like try to fight back with somebody that's trying to actually kill me.
I think that's what it is.
I've seen too many people just,
So we can get out on this, and I think that's what it is the older you get, the more experience you have, you learn how to...
No, I did this in my 20s, bro.
Yeah, I know that. So you picked up on it.
That disclaimer.
But what
Let
you
know
asked,
it's not needed.
what
The
you
20s,
asked,
it
at
was
this
the
point,
same thing.
there's a certain stage in the game that you get to that you realize you put your priorities in order.
Yeah, I mean, for me...
But he said it. He said, I'm not fighting, it's just art.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's art.
When it's a profession, it's art.
It's art.
Yeah, and I'll majestically make my way out of a bad situation. I won't entertain it. I won't be trying. I don't want to be there, with the police. I want to be there literally, why are you trying to sue me again? I was chilling. You can't mess with me. Now I gotta pay you money because I defended myself. That don't sound fun. So
He said that don't sound, and that's some people's hustles. Oh, he comes to the party, I'm gonna try to irritate him so he can punch me. I'm gonna take this punch for $500,000.
it's a whole bag out there created
and that's
to
just a
get
whole
your
bag.
ass whooped to sue.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's a thing though. I can go in there, irritate him, and then he gonna punch me, and I can make a little money.
Well, lesson for the day, adults and kids. That is not the career path you want to choose. You step up to me in the club, you're not going to win the lawsuit, but you will get the lights put out.
That works for me.
That works for me.
Good on that one.
I got you. I heard you.